My beloved soul, every challenge you faced holds a lesson you need to recognize. I have seen you look back at the valleys you crossed, the tears you shed, and the years of silent waiting. I hear the question echoing in your heart. What was it all for? You look at your scars and see them as marks of damage, reminders of a pain that you fear was without purpose. You recall the nights you prayed when the sky seemed like brass, the dreams that died in your arms, and the doors that shut with a final desolate sound. In your most vulnerable moments, a subtle lie tries to creep in, the lie that it was all for nothing, that your suffering was a waste and your perseverance was useless. Today, I have come to silence that lie with the power of my truth. I have come to sit with you in the projection room of your soul, to rewind the film of your life and show you the scenes you missed, narrating what was happening behind the curtains. What I am about to show you next can transform your walk, because today, your perspective on your own past will be radically healed. You will no longer see a series of unconnected, painful events. You will see the tapestry. You will see the work of art. You will see that every thread, even the darkest and roughest ones, was woven by my sovereign and loving hands to create the masterpiece you are becoming. Nothing was in vain. Every tear watered a seed. Every trial forged a strength. Every weight prepared a path. Before continuing this message, write this word of faith in the comments. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow with faith. This is your act of opening up to my perspective, of agreeing with my redeeming work in your life. Now, as the message continues, prepare your heart. You are about to discover that your greatest pain was, in truth, the birthplace of your greatest purpose. My child, pay close attention to what follows. For the first thing I want you to see is the purpose of your pain. You looked at your trials and saw them as punishment or abandonment. But what was happening was the process of the master blacksmith. To create a strong, resilient sword capable of winning great battles, the blacksmith cannot simply pour metal into a mold. He must heat it in the most intense fire until it becomes pliable. Then, he places it on the anvil and hammers it, repeatedly. Every hammer blow looks like an act of violence, an attack. But the blacksmith knows that every strike is removing impurities, aligning molecules, and giving shape and strength to the blade. Your life has been my anvil, and your trials were my hammer blows of love. I know the fire was hot. I know the blows were hard. But I was there with you every moment, controlling the temperature and measuring the force of every strike. I was not destroying you. I was forging you. I was removing the impurities of pride, self-reliance, and fear. I was aligning your character with mine. I was giving you the shape of a warrior, a weapon of honor in my arsenal, capable of being used to free others. If I had not taken you through this fire, you would have remained like a piece of raw metal, full of potential, but useless for battle. The intensity of your forge shows the importance of your mission. I do not spend this much time and energy on a common tool. The fact that you have gone through so much is proof of the value I see in you and the great purpose for which I am destining you. There is something essential you must grasp before continuing. Your pain was not a sign of my anger, but of my great faith in you and in what I called you to become. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, "I trust in the Lord." By doing this, you strengthen your faith and share hope with those who also need to sense my presence. It is your declaration that you trust the blacksmith even when you do not understand the hammer blows. If this message has touched your heart and you wish to support this mission, click Super Thanks and help spread words of light, encouragement, and inspiration to many lives. Your pain was not in vain. It was your creation. My precious soul, now let us look at your tears. How many have you shed? Tears of loneliness, frustration, loss, and a broken heart. You saw them as a sign of weakness, as a waste of emotion. But in my kingdom, tears are one of the most precious resources, and none of yours were wasted. I gathered them, every single one, in my bottle. They were not forgotten. They were invested. Every tear you shed for your own wounds was, without you knowing it, watering the seeds of compassion in your heart. Because you knew the depth of your own pain, you developed a supernatural capacity to connect with the pain of others. Your soul now speaks a language that only those who have suffered can understand. You became an expert in empathy. Your heart, which was broken, now has more inlets for love and more outlets for grace. What you lived through qualified you to be a wounded healer. You will have an authority to minister to the brokenhearted that no person who had an easy life could ever have. Your story of how you survived your dark night will become the lighthouse to guide others out of theirs. Your tears were not in vain. They were the price of your anointing. What I am about to show you next can transform your life. I did not only gather your tears, but also your unanswered prayers. Every petition you cast to the heavens that seemed to have no answer was not lost. They accumulated before my throne like incense, creating a cloud of spiritual power. And that cloud is now so heavy, so saturated, that it is about to break into a rain of blessings over your life. A rain that will not only bless you, but will overflow to everyone around you. Your perseverance in prayer in the silence was generating a power you are about to witness. I, your God, am sending you a special sign. The sign you await so much is in this verse, Isaiah 61:3, which says that I give a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Write in the comments, I receive this message and I am blessed. And send love and protection to the person you love, declaring that God is trading their ashes for beauty. If this message touched your heart, show your support with a super thanks and help spread this message of light. And before we move forward, let me lead you to something I prepared to strengthen your faith even more. If you feel you need inner healing, spiritual reconnection, purpose, and prosperity aligned with my heart, there is a 31-day path waiting for you. Each day was created so I can speak to you more deeply. If you wish to follow this way, the link is in the description and in the first pinned comment. Now, let's continue the message. Thus, you receive more messages of light. Your ashes were the fertilizer, your pain was the water, and the harvest will be glorious. My blessed soul, and what about the long years of waiting? Those periods when you felt your life was on pause, stagnant, while the world moved forward. You looked at that time as lost time, and I saw it as time invested. It was in life's waiting room that I taught you my deepest lessons. It was there that you learned patience, which is the fertile soil where all other fruits of the Spirit can grow. It was there that I weaned you from your need for instant gratification and taught you the beauty of the process, the slow and steady rhythm of my work. It was in the waiting that I purified your desires. You came to me with a list of things you wanted, and as you waited, I began to work in your heart, trading your superficial desires for the deeper desires I myself planted in you. You stopped praying just for a good result and started praying to become a good person. You stopped seeking my hand and started seeking my face. And that, my daughter, was the greatest promotion of all. It was in the waiting that you learned to depend on me for your joy. When external sources of happiness dried up, you were forced to dig deeper and find the spring of living water that gushes from within, which is my presence. You discovered that your joy does not need to be held hostage by your circumstances, and that discovery made you unshakable. Nothing was in vain. Every day of waiting was building in you a character foundation that will enable you to manage the blessing that is coming. If I had delivered it before, you wouldn't have been ready. The blessing would have corrupted you or crushed you. But the woman you became in the waiting room, that woman is ready. She is mature. She is humble. She is resilient. She is the faithful steward to whom I can now entrust the great treasures of my kingdom. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you would like to forgive. Visualize each of them. Send love and say, I forgive you and release you. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. Forgive me for the wait. Forgive yourself for the impatience. By doing this, you are honoring the process and opening yourself to receive the reward that awaits on the other side of the waiting room door, which is now opening. My precious soul, what about your mistakes, your failures, the decisions you regret? Those are the threads you most fear were wasted. You see them as irreparable stains on the canvas of your life, and I see them as the shadow colors that gave depth and realism to your work of art. I am the master weaver, and in my tapestry, there are no wasted threads. You handed me the tangled threads of your confusion, the rough threads of your sin, the gray threads of your regret, and on my side of the tapestry, I have been weaving them into a pattern of grace and redemption that you cannot even imagine. Your greatest mistake changed into the platform for my greatest grace. Your biggest failure changed into your biggest lesson. Your deepest regret changed into the source of your greatest compassion. I did not just forgive you for your mistakes. I redeemed them. I incorporated them into your destiny. Your story is richer, more powerful, and more beautiful precisely because of them, not in spite of them. Your fall taught you the humility that will keep you safe in your future heights. Your wrong decision taught you the wisdom that will guide you in your future crossroads. Your weakness taught you the dependence on me that is your greatest strength. Nothing was in vain. I am like an artisan practicing the art of kintsugi. I take your broken vessel and do not just glue it back together, but I fill the cracks with gold, making it stronger, more valuable, and more beautiful than it was before. Your failures, in my hands, have become your most distinctive and glorious features. There is something deep I want you to grasp. Your story is not about your ability to never fall. It is about my ability to always lift you up and use your fall to propel you even higher. Stop hiding from your past. Stop being ashamed of your mistakes. Embrace them as part of your redemption story. They do not disqualify you. They uniquely qualify you for the ministry of grace I have for you. My child, what about the closed doors? Those no's that echoed in your soul like a final sentence? Each one was an act of love and protection. Every door I kept shut was because I knew what was on the other side. I saved you from relationships that would have crushed your spirit. I saved you from jobs that would have stolen your soul. I saved you from opportunities that would have diverted you from your true purpose. You saw the closed door as a rejection. I saw it as a rescue. And the hallway you had to walk in after the door closed, that place of transition and uncertainty, was not in vain. It was there that I stripped you of your false securities. It was there that you learned to walk by faith and not by sight. It was there that I had your full attention, away from the distractions of the world. The hallway was not a punishment. It was a private classroom between you and me. I know it was lonely, but it was in that silence that you learned to discern my voice. It was in that darkness that your spiritual eyes adjusted to see my light. Nothing was in vain. The closed door protected you, the hallway prepared you, and now you are standing before a new door, a door I myself built for you. A door that fits the woman you became in the hallway perfectly. And this door will take you not just to a place of blessing, but to a place of destiny. Give thanks for every no. Each one was a yes in disguise to something infinitely better that I had in store. Build an altar of gratitude over the tomb of every dream that died. For the death of that dream was necessary for the resurrection of the dream I myself dreamed for you. Share this video with 2 dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Together, let's build a chain of love and mutual support. Leave a comment with a prayer of faith and hope. A simple "Lord, thank you for the doors you closed and for the better door you are opening" is a declaration that seals your healing from the past and your entry into the future. My precious soul, do you see now? Every piece of your story, even the most painful and confusing ones, has a place in my puzzle. Nothing was random. Nothing was without purpose. Pain forged your strength. Tears watered your compassion. Waiting built your character. Mistakes taught your wisdom. Closed doors protected and redirected you. Everything, absolutely everything, was working together for your good, to mold you into the woman you are today. And the woman you are today is ready. Ready for your harvest, ready for your purpose, ready for your promotion. The long season of sowing, plowing, and watering with tears has ended. The harvest season has arrived, and you will begin to see the fruits of everything you went through. The strength you gained in the trial, you will use to lift others. The compassion you learned in your pain, you will use to heal broken hearts. The wisdom you acquired in your mistakes, you will use to counsel the lost. The faith you forged in the waiting, you will use to inspire those about to quit. What you sowed in private, you will reap in public. What the enemy intended for your destruction, I am now changing into your greatest platform of influence. Your past is no longer your burden. It has become your resume. Your story is no longer your shame. It has become your crown. What I want you to do now is start looking at your life with these new eyes. See the connection. See the pattern. See the gold thread of my redemption weaving everything together. And let gratitude flood your soul. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the fullness of your harvest. It takes you out of the place of questioning and puts you in the place of worship. And it is in worship that you will find the strength and joy to walk in all that I prepared for you. My beloved soul, we have reached the end of our road through your history. The film was rewound, the scenes were re-narrated, and the main theme was revealed: redemption. Nothing was in vain. Every scene, every dialogue, every moment of darkness contributed to the glorious ending I am writing. Your life is my masterpiece, and like every great story, it needed conflict, tension, and a hero or heroine who would be tested and transformed. And that heroine is you. From today on, I call you to be the curator of your own story. Tell it no longer as a victim, but as a victor. Tell it not with bitterness, but with wonder at the master's hand that wove beauty from your ashes. Your story is your legacy. It is the gift you will give the world. It is proof that there is a God in heaven who specializes in taking broken lives, dead dreams, and painful pasts, and changing them into a resounding testimony of His goodness and His power. Your life, from today on, is my answer to the question of a skeptical world. Does God still care? Can He still fix what is broken? And your radiant, redeemed existence will be allowed, yes. Go now and live your story. Live it with boldness, live it with joy, live it with purpose. Because every moment of it, from beginning to end, was and is sacred. Nothing, absolutely nothing, was in vain. If this message resonated with you and with your situation, write in the comments, because in my kingdom nothing is wasted. Your words strengthen your faith and also light the way for others who need this light. Share your experiences in the comments. And before we conclude, I need to lead you to something I prepared especially for you. I have seen your search for inner healing, for spiritual reconnection, for a new purpose, and for prosperity that comes from my hands. Nothing of this is by chance. When your heart cries out, I open pathways. That is why, through this channel, I have set before you a guided 31-day path, a process where, daily, I can speak more deeply to your spirit. This is not just an ebook, it is a way of restoration, alignment, and growth, created to strengthen your faith, renew your hope, and open doors you never imagined. If you feel this calling, access the link I left in the description and also in the first pinned comment of this video. Begin this walk of healing, reconnection, purpose, and prosperity today. I will be with you on every page, guiding your steps and illuminating your way. If this message touched your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving my word. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.